It's probably in my notes.
Sorry to put you on the spot.
No, I love that kind of stuff.
Being put on the spot.
No,
you most certainly do not.
No, I definitely don't.
I have
like
at least
being put on the
60
spot.
episodes of Gaming Cats and Dogs to say otherwise.
Well, because it's like...
Alright, we're back with some more of I Am Setsuna. We're still in the Frozen Land. Alright, we're making our way to the core,
Making our way downtown.
where Dark
Walking
Samsara
fast.
sleeps.
Samsara pass and I'm homebound. Grand Theft Auto has ruined that song for me.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Did you...
Because now all I can see is the guy on the piano rolling down the streets in Grand Theft Auto, shooting everyone, and that song is playing in the background. And it's all I can see.
Well, darn, because I will forever associate that song with white chicks. How did you know? I love this song. That old Terry Crews head shake.
Oh my god.
And I need you.
I haven't seen that movie in so long.
That movie is the pinnacle for me of don't judge a film by its trailer. Because I
Yeah.
saw that trailer and I said, the human race is dead. Entertainment is trash. And for the longest time, I avoided it. And oddly enough,
remember
my
thinking it was
sister
funny.
was just watching. The trailer was just very off-putting for me at the time.
Yeah. I don't even
And
remember
like,
what it was like.
even looking back, I don't think it's that good of a trailer. That being said, the movie itself, especially Terry Crews, was just really, really funny.
Yeah.
So like, I revoked my previous conception.
That's fair. I like...
And sometimes it happens. Sometimes I'll like see a trailer and I'll be like, I don't know.
I don't hardly remember anything about that movie.
But I also have this mantra of like everything in my life to like keep my expectations low and be like,
Yeah.
it might be kind of crummy. Instead of just like, wow, this is
This
going to
looks
blow
so
my
good,
mind.
yeah.
This sucks.
Well, like...
This sucks.
I think the only thing that I remember, and I could even be misremembering it, I don't remember, is like the two guys pretending to be the girls are with the two girls, and they're like, oh my god, who's who? And like they're very clearly like two black men dressed as white women with two white women, and it was just really funny to me because that was the intent, is they are very clearly in costumes. And, like, they're just like, oh, how do we tell the difference?
Have you ever seen Sorority Boys?
No.
It kind of has that concept where they're like football players that dress as girls to kind of like, I forget what their goal is, but they're trying to get some like intel on something.
Oh, my God.
But like, I remember the funniest part is like, they're as the girls playing like women's sports or something like
Yeah.
that. I think they're just trying to understand women's sports. And like, he gets hit in the nuts and he goes, oh, my vagina, careful with the vagina. Because he's just like, oh, my balls. But he goes, oh, my ball. And he gets nudged. He's like, Gina.
Jesus.
Careful with the vagina.
I don't know if men think that it just doesn't hurt to get kicked in the vagina. It does.
That has been
It does hurt. I definitely know it doesn't hurt as bad as like getting
because
kicked.
she's the man does that.
Yeah.
Where she gets hit in the groin area
and like doesn't react, and then
doesn't
she's like,
react, and she's like,
oh,
oh,
yeah,
oh.
like, because I know it's definitely not as bad as like for guys, but it's also the same. Like, I remember in high school there was a thing of like boob punch, like to punch a boob.
Yeah.
That fucking hurts.
Yeah.
Like,
Can definitely lead to breast cancer.
yeah.
There was a big thing in you know the movie Grease with Olivia Newton-John,
Yeah.
and like he actually elbowed her in the chest
Oh.
during that scene, and he felt really bad, but she had to get checked to make sure that she didn't get breast cancer. But it was just like an awkward moment because like that wasn't like scripted.
Yeah.
It actually happened.
Well, and I think people think that it's like, oh, I got elbowed in the boob, like breast cancer. It doesn't really happen like that. It's just if you damage a gland,
Exactly.
it can open up the possibility. Like your chances of getting cancer are higher because you have a damaged gland.
Well, I also wonder if like it's more of a risk for like petite girls.
No.
No? Okay.
I don't think so, because it's like...
Well, I just wondered, like, if the guy's, like, really well built and buff and,
Yeah.
like, pow.
I think it would just depend on how hard you hit
Yeah.
someone. Because it's like, especially like the soft part, not so much, but if you get hit like right here.
I'm not gonna
Like-
Mythbusters a boob punch. But...
No, please don't.
No, not with you. I just meant like I'm not gonna analyze and be like,
Yeah.
oh, if you see it at this angle, the velocity must be.
Yeah. Well, because it's like,
If we pause this boob punch frame by frame.
but it's just like having been checked for breast cancer.
Correct.
They check like right here, like right by the armpit, because
Okay.
that's where one of your main glands are at, and that's 9 times out of 10 where cancer starts.
Okay. There we go. That's how you get the other chest. I was just like, I'm not leaving here without all my goodies. I did get the strongest sword, though. I got the Time Forger. And with adding all these crystals... There we go.
Ooh.
Yep. Good. Uh-huh. Alrighty. We're still going to keep the Mecha Sword. It's not quite powerful yet. See, that's the bummer. I kept upgrading the Mecha Sword, so now it's like stronger than the Time Forger.
Yeah.
So now I gotta take the time to buff the Time Forger so that it's stronger than my Mecha Sword.
Yeah.
Whereas I think you're supposed to conserve all those until the very end,
Oh.
and then you can use them and get your ultimate sword.
Okay.
But I used it on the wrong one.
I did get the ultimate sword in ease.
Oh, you did?
I did.
Nice.
So I took it and showed it to the Forge Master, and she was like, "There's nothing I can do for this sword. It's so powerful."
Nice.
Like, yes.
There we go. It's gonna be so fulfilling until you beat it, start Ys 9, and be like, I'm with a dinky sword again.
I know. I have like a little wooden sword.
How do you feel about that in a sequel where like the same character is suddenly powerless? Because like that happens a lot in Metroid games, to where like
I don't think
some
that-
way she'll lose her powers
I don't,
and have to regain them.
because that's all a part of the game.
Okay.
Like, unless it's a direct translation to the story.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm trying to think of an example. So it's like, I'm just gonna use Ys because my brain is already thinking of it.
Sounds good to
So
me.
say like they all get on the ship, they get off the island,
Mm-hmm.
and they go to Rome,
Mm-hmm.
and the story is continuing,
Mm-hmm.
and that's the 9th game.
Yeah.
Is like they're continuing, all the same characters, like the storyline is continuing on,
Okay.
and all of a sudden, like, they have no ability. Weapons is one thing, because I can see like going and being like, oh, we're stripping you of these evil weapons from this demonic island, but
Yep.
like if they don't have any of the abilities, then
Mm-hmm.
yeah, I'd be a little ticked off.
Okay.
But if it's like, oh, another adventure, starting again, I wouldn't be mad, because it's like that's all a part of the game. To me, that's a
Okay.
part of the fun, is like collecting your weapons, making them stronger in accordance to the game you are currently playing.
Right. It's just very common for like a sequel for like the new bad guy to be like, those are mine.
Yeah.
And then like bolting, or like in Metroid where like she gets corrupted by a mysterious new aura,
Yeah.
which corrupts all of her abilities to where she can't access them. So you have to spend the rest of the game like
getting them
unlocking them
back.
and getting them back. It's just very common because like as fun as it is to be overpowered, that rush has to be met with some competition.
Yeah. It's fun to be overpowered, but like it's only fun for a little bit before you're like, all right, I want a challenge.
Yeah, well,
You know?
being overpowered is the same for me as like exploring a world. I
Yeah.
like it to be the reward near the end.
Yeah.
Be like, look how far I've come. These mooks
Right.
now grovel at my feet. Whereas if I just feel overpowered from beginning to end, I'm just like, this is kind of boring. Is
Yeah.
anything gonna pose a challenge?
Right, where there's no struggle at all.
Mm-hmm.
But no, I don't think that would be upsetting to me. I have yet to play a sequel to a game,
That is true.
but I don't think that I would be upset, because again, my brain doesn't think of it as a sequel from like a movie.
Mm-hmm.
I think of it as its own independent, newly thought out thing based
And-
off of this thing.
Sometimes that is the case, and other times they are more like movies, to where it's
A direct sequel.
a continuation of the story.
So like,
But they still have to work around gameplay mechanics
Yeah.
and stuff like that. So,
so I feel like if I was playing like Kingdom Hearts, and I'm on the third game, like
Yeah.
sequential game, not like Kingdom Hearts 3 that's actually Kingdom Hearts like 14 or some shit.
No, you're pretty accurate with that.
But like, so if I play halfway through this series and then all of a sudden they take my weapons away and my abilities away and I have to get them back again, I don't think I would be as mad as if it's every single game. The story is continuing and you're growing as a character, but every single game you start blank slate.
Okay.
But the story has developed and the characters have developed and you're just
Okay.
shit on a brick. Like,
Gotcha.
that I think would be a little bit frustrating. I would prefer it to be like small things.
Okay.
So it's like, oh, in this world, like, I've never played Kingdom Hearts, so this is all a load of shit for anyone listening.
It might not be.
But like, say we're in like a Little Mermaid area and it's like, oh, cool, I can breathe underwater and I can do backflips and stuff like that. And then in the next game, there's a water level and you can't breathe underwater.
Okay.
I don't think I'd be mad about that.
Okay.
But it's like if I had like an equipment that could help me breathe underwater for Little Mermaid, and then the next one, and I don't have the equipment, then I'd be like, the fuck?
Okay. I got you now. Not too far-fetched. I'll say that much.
That was just like the most thing, like,
No, it works.
probable thing I could think of.
Mm-hmm. Haha, you missed.
Horn attack.
It's fair when enemies miss. Like, I don't mind missing if enemies can miss as well. What? Their name?
That demon looks a little horny.
Yes, indeed. I thought you laughed because they're called Archdearmons.
Archdearmons.
There you go. You like your puns.
I do like my puns.
Archdearmon. What the hell are you guys?
These look like the anti-peacockial.
No, they have a different name. I just gotta...
Well, they look like they would be the anti ones, like
Yeah.
they're the demonic version of the. Oh, we didn't even get to
Well,
see.
they're dead now. We did, but we got a freeze frame. Because I just kind of like zipped through those buttons. Because as you can see, there's a lot of encounters here. And I'm just like, ha-da-dee-dee-dee.
Oh, well, there's more of them.
Yeah, we got the Archdearmons
We got
and
some horny guys.
Let's see if I can catch it. Okay, that's the Archdearmon. Stop him. Demi. That way we got bring them all together.
Bring it all together now.
Condorial.
Condriel.
So it's like a condor.
Okay.
That was a peacockial, and this is a condorial. Alrighty then.
I think
Ah,
that's,
fuck, Ace 2.
A really interesting thing for anyone who likes to write or create or name things. Oh, Setsuna's dead.
Hang on. We can bring her back with
It's
Indian water.
A fun little tidbit to add eel at the end of something, IEL. And that's like an illusion that they are from an ethereal plane.
Okay. And down she goes again.
So that's why like so many angels have eel at the end.
Mm-hmm.
Castiel,
Okay.
Daniel,
Gotcha.
Michael.
What does EUS mean? IUS. Do you know that one? Because that's very common.
IUS?
Yes, IUS. EUS. Or sometimes IOUS.
I used to.
Okay.
It's probably in my notes.
Sorry to put you on the spot.
No, I love that kind of stuff.
Being put on the spot.
No,
You most certainly do
no,
not.
No, I definitely
I
don't.
have
like
at least
being put on the
60
spot.
episodes of Gaming Cats and Dogs to say otherwise.
Well, because it's like, oh, I really like that. Name 3 examples. Oh,
What are the major teams of the book so far?
I didn't come prepared for this. But no,
We are year 3 into Gaming Cats and Dogs, and you want to say, I am not prepared for this?
Well, because we don't know what we're gonna talk about when it comes to gaming cats and dogs.
I don't even know what my fucking sentences are going to finish as half
Yeah.
the time.
So, like, there's no plausible way that I can come to gaming cats and dogs prepared with like notes, unless it is something specific with the game that I'm like, don't forget to mention this.
Right.
Other than that, we're just bullshitting. I was gonna say we're just shitting, and I was like, we're definitely not shitting right now.
Interrupt you when you're like telling a story, and it's just like, this is something I wanted to talk about. About this particular game. I'm sorry. This is what I thought about since I first recorded it. I apologize. Because you get like very mad, sometimes hurt, and like, maybe I won't commentate. I'm just like, no, that's not the point. It's just when I'm recording, I'm just like, oh, that'd be a cool topic. I hope I remember. Then you're just like, so one time
I'm like
my
midway.
mom took me
I'm
out
like
to...
midway through my story, and you're just like, oh, and in this game going on here right now, and I'm like, oh, okay, it must be really boring, and you're like telling me that I should shut up and just like.
No, not that at all.
I mean, I know I'm pretty boring, but it's okay.
No, you're very.
I like being boring.
You're so entertaining. I drove 6 hours just to get a engagement ring.
Yeah.
That's how entertaining you are. So, booyakasha on that. Also, I need to get that insured.
Yes, we do. So, anyone that's ever insured a piece of jewelry, let us know how you did it.
Yeah.
I have never had to insure a piece of jewelry.
To the 2 people that watched this particular playthrough.
I know. Josiah, I know you're young. Ask your parents, because I don't have any. Oh, I just made myself sad.
I do that kind of dark humor myself. My coworker Bill will be like, holidays get rougher when you have in-laws, and I'm just like, I don't have that problem. They're dead.
Oh my god, I think my favorite dark humor moment about dead parents has been.
What the fuck is this?
I was in public. I think I might have been like leaving work or something, and I dropped the F-bomb, and I was like, what the fuck? And this lady was like, do you kiss your mother with that mouth? And I was like, my mom's dead. And she was just like, she was like, so horrified, and I was just like, yes, be horrified at yourself.
Oh god.
Like,
he just summoned a meteor shower. All right, be careful with that guy.
But yeah, because I try really hard not to swear loudly in public.
Makes sense.
Because I think it's rude. But sometimes I swear so much and so frequently that sometimes I don't realize that I have just sworn.
That's fair.
But like, I also really hate when people comment on it. Like,
God,
do you kiss your mother with that mouth? Like, my mom's dead. And they're like, like, you should be shocked. Why are you commenting on someone else's family? If you were offended that I swore, then just say so.
Yep.
Like, hey, do you mind not
kiss your
swearing?
mother with that mouth? Oh, only on Tuesdays.
That's when like start sobbing and be like, I was abused. Like, Papa made me kiss Mama.
Just some way to make them even more uncomfortable.
Yeah. Just be like, come on, man. Like, if it triggers something within someone else, just say it. Like, most people have the common decency to be like, oh, I'm sorry.
God damn this fucking combo.
And not do it again. I don't know. They are furry.
No, stop.
They look, were those dinosaurs from Hawaii? They look like they have little hula skirts on.
Maybe. I just figured it's all that fur to keep them warm during the hibernation process.
How weird would it be if dinosaurs just grew fur
I just used a fog stone.
for the winter?
There is speculation of like newer documentaries coming out where they have like fur patches and feather patches and stuff like that.
I just meant that like they're scaled like lizards when it's hot, and then just grow like woolly mammoth coats in the cold, and then they just shed all their fur off and be scaly again when it's hot.
That'd be amusing. Is there any animal that does that?
I don't think so. But now I'm picturing it happening to like alligators. Could you imagine?
That'd
like,
be quite the visual.
I just pictured an alligator with
I know a
fur.
scientist just imploded it internally, but
somewhere. I just pictured an alligator with like long hair though, kind of like the beard of the women in The Witcher. They have like real
the
pretty
dwarf
hair.
beards, yep.
Yeah. And I was so disappointed in myself that I never thought that the female dwarves would have beautiful beards. I just pictured them like big bushy beards like all the men.
Shaggy, just like the guys. No, they tend to their beards.
And then I was just like, when I'm old and have a beard, I'm going to take care of it like that.
Aw.
I'm just going to straighten it and just put little bows in it.
Grandma Amanda and her beard.
Who's a grandma?
Tending to her whiskers. Elder Amanda? Does that sound better?
I don't know. I think if our friends had children, I would be okay with being called grandma.
Mima.
Yeah. I call my grandma Mama.
What do you mean if our friends had children? Our friends do have children.
Yeah. I don't know. The one child, like, scaled the side of my body, and it really freaked me out.
Ah!
Because he wanted held. And I guess I was just, like, the closest female. And he was just like, hold me! And I was like, no! He's shaking my leg, like, get off! Get it off, get it off, get it off, get it off! I'm pretty sure I, like, he made it to my hip, and I just, like, picked him up and took him over to Chuck and was like...
Oh, jeez. Cool. Nice. All right.
Winning.
Just getting more and more of that EXP.
You're gonna need it.
All right, let's take this warp. Let's see.
Warp-a-doodle-doo.
You're here.
Yay!
Now I can tell you everything.
I like Eterna's, like,
The twist?
persona.
Okay. We're about to dive more into it.
Yes.
I do like the visual of, like, Dark Samsara's seal. Looks like a big old wad of hay. Or, like, yarn.
I'm looking at where is it?
It's in the background. It's a little blurry now because I'm sifting through and getting myself prepped for the battle ahead. Eating some of these recipes because why not? Endir is at level 45. Setsuna is at level 43. Everyone else is at least level... I think our lowest one is Julian at 38. Which isn't bad. The first time I played, I had...
That is really cool.
Endir at level 40.
It makes me think of electricity.
Okay. It reminds me of the ending to Paranorman.
Yes. Yes, it does. I don't know why I just went, yes.
Yes.
I turned into a vampire for a minute.
So yes, this character shares the same appearance as Eterna. So this is where I was first wondering. I was like, oh, is Eterna the final boss?
Yeah.
And it's like, well, yes, but actually no.
I'm her clone. Because remember way back when it was like, hey, Eterna's not a human?
Yeah.
She's a clone.
But also, like, the reasons why Eterna would, like,
timepiece.
vanish.
Yeah.
Without any reasoning. So yeah, this is the time judge. And Eterna is like her little pawn to
What's her clone?
Her clone.
Her eyes on the outside.
Yeah, her eyes on the outside. There we go.
Setsuna's like, but you were my friend.
So now we're going to change things. Because usually it's just at this point where Setsuna has to give her power to the time judge.
Mm-hmm.
And time cycles again. And another pilgrimage has to happen after the Age of Peace. So we're going to break the cycle. It happened with her mother, and the mother before that,
yeah,
and the sacrifice before that, and so on and so forth. Some of you may die, but it's a sacrifice I'm willing to make. So I don't know if you, because you actually get a choice here. You can actually choose to like surrender the power or stop the cycle. I don't know if saying like, hey, I'll give you the power if you get like a game over, or if the credits roll.
Do you have the power? Well, because we made a mistake.
See, here it is. Give her your energy and life force. Destroy Dark Samsara.
Well, because we made that mistake in Origami King.
Oh, yeah, we
With
did.
Luigi. And it just game overed. And I was like, what?
I was like, oh my. I read up on it. Apparently, that game over counts as ruining a no-def run 100% playthrough. So completionists were like, are you fucking kidding me?
Oh my god.
Could you imagine just like having no deaths and then you just goof up on that little game with Luigi and you get your game over? Up until now, we've chose to avoid battle. And each time the outcome was the same. So yeah, we're stuck in a time loop.
And this is why Setsuna was always like, no, I trust you, Endir. He'd like come at her like, I'm gonna kill you. And she goes, no, you won't. It's okay.
Well, what's interesting is they kind of hint here that like some of the events that makes this different have been in the character's dreams. Mainly Setsuna's dreams and Endir's dreams. So yeah, no one retains the memories except for Eterna and the Time Judge. But here we go. So the distortions are the dreams. Okay. And why she's always just like, I feel like I've been here before. Doesn't this seem familiar, Endir? And you can either be like, yes, familiar, or I have no idea what this bitch is talking about. You can totally just like throw her under the bus and be like, listen, this lady's crazy. I've been trying to kill her 6 times.
We've been trying to kill her for like 2 weeks now. Like,
but here it is. Endir's appearance. He is the greatest anomaly.
Though only slightly.
Nah, that's okay.
I would be like, tell me everything.
All right, so here we go. This is one of those, hey, if you're strong enough to take on the final boss, you can take me on.
Yeah.
So this is a test of our abilities. We're going to face the Time Judge.
And I feel like this is a really common thing as well, where like someone in your party or someone that's not necessarily your enemy is like, can you fight me? Like, if you can beat me, then you're ready for the final boss. If you can't beat me, you better go back and grind some more until you can.
Mm-hmm. I also like how her scepter is like a combination of like a clock hand.
Yeah.
I really like her design.
I really like her design as well.
But this is kind of weird that like I get to use Eterna to defeat the Time Judge.
You get to use the clone against her.
You use my own clone against me. And she immediately targets her. It's just like, no cheating.
I know.
Comet, Eterna, no cheating. Alright, so we're going to keep Setsuna on healing duties. I'm going to use Demi with Eterna. And that does absolute shit, so don't do that. She's just like, use my own time spells against me.
I know.
Fool, I am the master of time.
I really love the idea of, like, the master of time.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I love the concept, and I would love to write a story about it. I just have no idea how I would do it.
Time travel can be very sticky and iffy.
Not time travel. I don't think I would want to do time travel. I would want to do, like...
just like a keeper of time?
Yeah.
Okay. Kind of like Clockwork and Danny Phantom.
Yeah.
He was a cool design because he had like an infant form.
Right, and he had 3 forms of like small, medium, and large.
Yeah. Infant form, elder form, and like youth form.
Yeah.
Which I thought was like really cool as a design. Time out. Time in.
Yeah. So I really love the idea of doing something, and I've always really loved clocks.
Okay, so spells in general just do absolute shit to this lady. So I gotta rely on brute strength.
Yeah. So I just feel like it'd be a really cool thing to like play with.
Oh, this looks nice.
Well, that's fun.
Just a nice little meteor shower. It's okay. She's like, oh, walk it off, you pussies.
I hate the P word.
We'll use Grand Cross. There we go. Those are the digits I like to see.
I really like that she still has her little bear ears.
Yeah, that is cool. Well, For Eterna, it looks like it's part of the hoodie.
Yeah.
Whereas
for her, it looks
like
like a headband.
Yeah, headband. Yep, that's what I was gonna say.
But she still has like the little ears.
Mm-hmm. That's what makes Eterna. So, at the Comic-Con, do you want me to dress as Eterna as a gender bend, or do you want me to go for the time judge? Just go all out.
Like, you would have to wear the bikini.
I don't know. In theory, if it's just like us and we're doing like a sketch, I'd do it. But in public, I very well would not.
I could only imagine, like,
but I could do the Eterna aesthetic
going
in public.
Going to the store.
Because nobody would know what the hell it is.
Yeah. I could imagine going to the store and buying, like, a size small bikini, and people looking at me like, yeah, size small. Huh. And be like, it's for my husband. Because at the time, because
right.
we missed Comic-Con for this year. And just being like, what?
It's not a demon, that's my wife.
It's my favorite line out of that whole anime.
It's a good one. We were watching Blue Exorcist.
How did you get that demon in here?
It's not a demon. That's my wife. And I'm just like, I want to say those words with that same conviction sometime in my life. I don't know what the circumstance will be or what the situation, but I just want to say, that's not a demon. That's my wife.
And then I'll probably just turn around and be like,
Jesus Christ. Blood dripping down your lips. There we go. Thank you. I know you can do it. Alrighty. Everyone gained a level but Endir.
yay! Endir's like, well, fuck me, I
He's
guess.
literally a sliver away from a level up. It's just like, son of a bitch.
It's like, can you slap her? Like, would that get
Yeah.
a little point of EXP?
Endir just walks up. Level up.
Aww.
It's just like, sorry. Had to get that extra boost of EXP so that I could gain level 46. So this is weird. Right before the final battle, we get the Reaper. He has returned. So yeah, he was a servant of Dark Samsara. Now he is his own individual.
Huh.
But I'm pretty sure you can utilize him in like the post-game, not the post-game, New Game Plus.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure. Although, you can also warp back to the overworld before you take on the final boss as well. To like do any odds and ends you want to tie up.
Wrap up.
So I guess that's another perk for the Reaper.
Okay.
Because like it's just weird to have like a new party member
Setsuna's like,
right before the finale.
I trust him. Of course you do, Setsuna.
So now
Karen.
we get to name him. I'll just keep Fides.
You missed an opportunity
I
to
did
name
miss
him
an
Karen.
opportunity to call him Karen. I'm
That-
sorry. You
that
weren't
haircut,
with me while I was
though.
recording.
I know. I was probably at work.
No, this was I Am Setsuna. You were probably home. I wait until you leave for work, and then I'm just like, pop in, boy, and his blob. I'll be okay.
I'll be okay.
So now she can rest. For the first time in 16 years, I shall sleep well. And her name is Eutis.
You did this to me.
All right, then. So we're going to engage what is called the final rest, heal up, and in the next part, we're going to take on Dark Samsara. With Fides, our Karen of the group, if you will.
Yes. He's gonna march in there and ask to speak to the manager.
I'd like to speak to the manager. It's like this big old ethereal godlike being. That'll work.
Pretty much.
All right, folks. We'll see you guys in the next part of I Am Setsuna.
Toodles.